and only 3% of U.S. adults have $1 million saved for retirement. Is that shocking to you?
Yeah, I mean, 97% have less than $1 million saved. If you switch the data around, you go, yeah, that tracks. And here's the funny part, Ken. In the comment section, as I encourage people to do this, they go, $1 million is nothing in today's America. I go, are you even investing? The answer is no. So here's the thing. We're not saying that you only need $1 million. For some people, that might be more than enough. For some, it might not be near enough. But I want to show people today that you can retire with $1 million nest egg no matter how old you are.
All right.
It's not about income. It's about margin, how much you're able to put away a month, and
All
how
right,
early
let me say
you
something
start.
to you right now, people. Kellen, Kash, and class is in session, and I am here to talk about what you had just heard. 3% of adults retire with $1 million in their retirement. Now, if you do not understand what I'm about to break down, you will suffer. So feel free to write it down, download the transcript, ask ChatGPT to say in whatever language or tone you need. Because I know sometimes I might be, sounding like the Charlie Brown adults, whatnot, womp, 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 womp. But I don't want you to suffer. And it's not if you will suffer if you don't save, not maybe, not possible, but you will suffer, because I'm not trying to scare you. But I am trying to save you from a version of your future that you cannot afford to live through, because I've seen it. I've watched people reach the end of their working years with nothing, and I mean nothing but stress, regret, and a check that does not cover the basics. And they always say, nobody warned them, in plain language, when they still had time to change it. I don't always believe that, because they didn't warn them to get the boat either. Or they did warn them to get the boat and they didn't listen. So I am warning you now, if you're hearing this under the sound of my voice, like they say in church, old school church. All right. So I need you to stop scrolling. Don't go anywhere. Don't stop halfway. Listen all the way through if you care about your future and your family's future, because who is going to bury you and who is going to inherit, right, what you are putting down. But put the phone down and actually hear this message, because this conversation could be the difference between retiring with dignity or dying broke and dependent. Who wants to rely on their kids to, that they have to eat, that they have to, if you want to go take a travel, someone else has to pay? That's too dramatic. You don't want to be dramatic. It's just, you want to do the math right. So you just watched George from Dave Ramsey lay it out. And no hype, no performance, just the cold reality. And I would say go watch that channel too after you subscribe to this one in Diversified Game Podcast, and also George's channel as well, and all the Dave Ramsey people. I'm a student of theirs, where most Americans actually land when their working years run out. That's what I want to break down. And if that didn't hit, and if I said something that's wrong, rewind, because the numbers are real and most people are completely unprepared for them. So let's go deeper. No filter, no sugarcoating this. I'm giving it to you straight. That only 3% of Americans retire with $1 million. And you heard George say, well, $1 million's not enough. Okay, 3%. That's out of every 100 people you know personally, 3 of them cross that finish line. Of every 100 people you know, 3 of them cross the 7 figures. The other 97 don't make it. Now, I want you to sit with that for a second and think how you want to live in your retirement years. Look around at your family, your coworkers, your neighborhood, your social media skills. Run the numbers in your head. 3 out of 100, and it gets worse. Only 14% of Americans even have $100,000 saved. That's not even close to a retirement conversation. That's a survival conversation. So when the car breaks down, it's a crisis. When the medical bills come, and if you live long enough, something is probably going to happen, right? It's a crisis. When the job disappears, which it will for a lot of people, it's a full collapse. And now you're making desperate decisions with desperate money.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt. Or maybe you're doing okay but want to invest smarter, grow faster. MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
And taking jobs you hate because you can't afford to say no. Staying in situations that are killing you because walking away cost you too much. Borrowing from people you shouldn't have to borrow from. That's not living, that's surviving while slowly losing your self respect. And that's big the older you get. You want to have your independence, you want to have your self respect. The real divide in this country is not rich versus poor, it's prepared versus exposed. And right now, 80%, no, 86%, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, of people are exposed. Are you one of them? Now, let me talk about the retirement strategy that is quietly destroying people. Social Security, relying on it 100%. Let me run these numbers with you right now because the shock needs to happen today, not when you're 67 and it's too late to do anything about it. The average Social Security check is 1,800 to 2,000 a month. That is it. If that's all that you're living off now and you say you're happy, hey, kudos to you. I just don't know many people who are able to live off that. Even though when you're older, you're not going to need as much. But that is where the average American is actually living on after decades and decades of working hard, after paying into the system their entire life, after doing what they were told to do. $1,800 a month. Now, the maximum possible benefit exists, and I'll tell you what it takes to get there. Drum roll. You have had to earn at or near the highest taxable income level for 35 consecutive years. No gaps, no setbacks, no periods of lower income. And then you have to delay claiming as long as possible legally though possible. Okay, we get kind of interesting out there nowadays with some people. You have to do all that perfectly, and you might see 4,500 to 5,000 a month, but you are a high earner. I think the last that I checked, you had to earn and make, 135,000 or something like that for that time period is what it adds up to. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But let's be honest with each other. Most people are not doing that. Most people land near the average number. So I need you to answer the question right now. Can you build the life you want on 1,800 a month? That's rent. I would hope that you had a paid for place, whether it was a condo, but maybe you have rent or mortgage still. You have groceries, you have health care, which only gets more expensive as you age. Transportation and inflation eating away at the number every single year. Here is what people miss, and it's costing them everything. It's costing us everything as a community if this is the majority. Social Security was never designed to be your whole plan. It was built as a floor, and I'm talking the bottom, and a supplement to whatever other income you could have got in retirement. Not the blueprint, not the strategy, not the finish line, but millions of people are treating it like the whole answer. It's not the whole cake. And when the check comes in and reality hits that gap between what they expected and what they actually receive, that's where retirement stress lives. That's where people move in with their adult children out of necessity and not choice. Necesito. Mi español es mal, pero practico todos los días. That's where dignity gets negotiable. Do not let that be your story. Now, here's where I'm going to give you some room because not everybody wants the same, and I respect that. Dave Ramsey, I've been a student for at least 2 decades, has been preaching something for decades upon decades, that people dismiss because it doesn't look flashy on a thumbnail. You might not even need $1 million. if your house is completely paid off, as I was mentioning before, if you have no car payments, if your lifestyle is disciplined and intentional and not built on performance and appearances, hello, you can live a genuinely peaceful retirement on far less than most people think. No debt changes the math completely. No debt means monthly numbers shrink, your stress shrinks, your options expand. For a lot of people, that debt free, peaceful retirement is the goal, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is a real win. That is a life well built. Do not let anybody talk you out of it trying to sell you a course. But let me tell you, where I personally stand, and I got a course for you, your first trip to Africa, it'll be somewhere in the description. It's not hard to find. But, you know, how I want to live and stand, because I believe in just being straight with y'all when I'm coming on here, that's not enough for me. And let me show you why that's not enough for me. Because I'm talking about the car pulls up before the flight and you're not rushing, you're not stressed, already in a different mental state. You could sleep on your way to the airport or enjoy some snacks. And before you even reach the airport, your body just feels good. And if you do get anxious, whatnot, don't worry, because you walk into the airport and there's no long line for you. It's in that first class line, that check in, never more than, two people ahead of you. Sometimes you're escorted through the security entirely, smooth, calm. Depends where you're flying in the world. And if you're in the States, maybe you have Clear and TSA. I would highly recommend it. And they don't pay me to say that yet. But you walk in, you checked in, you're escorted, and then you step into a beautiful lounge, quiet, clean, private showers if you need to reset, depending on how long you're going to be there. There's not just snacks, but real food, real silverware, self chef prepared services, a massage before you even board in some places, especially if you're overseas. Everything in that environment built to say your time has value here. And you sit down, you breathe, you prepare. Then you board, no overhead space battles, no middle seat negotiations. You walk in calm and you go to your seat, your suite, your cocoon, privacy space, your own world at 35,000 feet. When you're ready to sleep, they say, and lay the bed down for you. Not reclined, but a real flat bed, stretched out. Some beds are bigger than others, depends how you fly, where you fly. But you get to stretch out, close your eyes, and wake up feeling like you actually traveled and not just survived it, trying to adjust in every little corner. I like that. I want that. And I'm not ashamed to say that out loud. Pray for it in Jesus Christ's name. Thankful for every time that I get to do that, because some flights might be so short that's not always a thing, so it's a privilege. So for me, peace is the floor for that particular. We all want peace, but I want to position myself at the ceiling. I want peace, I want options, I want joy, I want to be debt free and mobile. I want to move through the world on my own terms and give my family experiences, not just stability. The cost is more than 1,800 a month. The cost more than debt free and simple. That requires building something bigger on purpose. So while I have deep respect for the Ramsey fundamentals, and I believe everyone needs to master those basics before anything else, I'm even building past them, because first class isn't really the seat. I really want to be, private. But first class is waking up and choosing how your day goes. It's saying no to what doesn't serve you, because you can actually afford to say no, moving through the world without checking the account first. I'll tell you, on JetBlue, and they tell you put your nice designer tote and carry bag on the floor. If you had a mint seat, you have all the space you want for your carry-on and your bag. That's the difference. And this is the game. And the game to get there is simple. It's simple. Not easy, but simple. Because you earn, keep, grow, and repeat. That's the whole thing. But most people want to blow up at step 2 every single time. They earn and immediately spend everything performing a lifestyle they haven't actually built yet. The hedonic treadmill and just having to always have more, and one thing begets another. To me, upgrading before the foundation is solid was silly. Financing everything that moves, looking like you're winning while quietly you're losing, and the money never compounds, never gets room to breathe, never gets the chance to multiply because it's already gone before the month ends. Listen, you do not need to be rich first. You need to be in control first. Control creates options. Options create freedom. Freedom creates the life you actually want. That order does not flip. You cannot buy your way to control. You have to build your way there. And what you do to start that now is build your emergency fund. Start with $1,000 and you grow it to 3 to 6 months of expenses. That wall of cash is what keeps panic out of your decisions when life comes at you. Destroy your debt, not manage it, not rob Peter to pay Paul, not negotiate with it, eliminate it. Every dollar you owe is future income. You've already spent before you earned it. Start investing, not chasing. Whatever is trending on social media, consistent, disciplined, boring, long-term investing. That is how wealth actually builds, not in moments, in decades. Increase your income. There's only so much you can cut from the expense side. At some point, the math demands more coming in. Build skills, start something, create another stream. One source of income is fragile, and fragile will break you in a crisis, especially. And here's the thing about this game that they won't put in a viral video: it's not quick. It's not flashy. It's not trendy. It's not sexy. It's quiet, consistent, decisions made over years and decades. But here's why that actually is good news for you. Most people won't do it. Do you hear me? Which means if you do it, you automatically separate yourself from the pack. Not because you're a genius, not because you are so rich, but because you stayed disciplined when everyone else got distracted. Go back to the numbers one more time. 86% of people have less than $100,000 saved. Only 14% have crossed that line, and only 3% make it to $1 million. Which group are you building toward? Because the 86% is not a comfortable place to be. One situation from crisis is not life. That's a countdown. And I told you at the beginning of this video, if you don't get this now, you will suffer later. And I mean that. But the other side of this is just as true. If you go and get this now, if you actually apply it, if you stay consistent when it's boring and unglamorous and nobody's clapping for you, you build something real, something that lasts, something that gives you options. And one day, God willing, you'll be on that plane, stretched out, comfortable, moving through the world on your own terms. And maybe you're already on that plane, but you'll just stay on that plane and the seats will get better and the travels will even get longer, which when you're in that comfortable cocoon, it doesn't matter. That comfortable suite, it's all good. And it's not because you got lucky. It costs nothing to start learning, but it costs everything to stay asleep. Wake up. This is the new woke. Build the thing and let's get into that 3%. I'll see you at the top, you guys. Give me the comments. Give me the likes. Helps with the algorithm. But share this with somebody. It will change their life, y'all. Be blessed. Check in the descriptions for more information.
Ready to dominate your industry with strategy that actually scales? At Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm, we're not just PR experts, we're licensed sports agents certified in AI and elite business consultants with over 2 decades of experience leading global projects across multiple countries. Visit CPRFIRM.com, that's COLEMANPRFIRM.com, and MillionaireX.ai. Then download the Millionaire X app, your AI-powered guide to getting out of debt, investing smarter, and building generational wealth. Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm. It's a family business. It's different.
Hi guys, I'm Kai Gabiam from the Diaspora Channel, a lover of Africa. If you love Africa as well and you would love to visit one day or to relocate to Africa, there is a course out there for you. And this course is My First Trip to Africa, a course well put together by a seasoned traveler, Kellen, Kash, COLEMAN. This course is designed to prepare you to travel better, which will save you both time and money. And the great news is this course costs only $20, guys. It can't get any better. Go right now and enroll to this course at www.diversifygame.com. Don't miss out.